We've been lied to, fam. Society lied to us. They told us we just make enough money, we buy enough things, we'll be happy. We follow the path, school, college, get a job, find the right person. There's only one person, soulmate, you gotta find them, get a house, get a little picket fence, be happy. That you just gotta go to the gym an hour a day and you'll be healthy and you'll feel good, and that lied to in so many ways, and that you can't do what makes you happy for money, that you can't, you need to live in society in this certain kind of way and you'll be happy, and that you need this degree, and there's just so many lies. Welcome in, fam. Much love, Trav here. Society lied to us about what makes a good life, about what makes us happy, what makes us fulfilled. How can we trust these big corporations flashing ads on our telescreens, prompters, Facebook ads, and all this to have our interests? They want our money, they want our time, they want our attention. Welcome in. By the way, I'm driving across Oahu. There's a picture from today. It's about an hour drive from the west side to the east side. Sunday adventure day on the east side, so I'm on the freeway. You can hear some noise from that. And headed back to the routine, growing organic food on the west side, and just thinking about how grateful I am and how lucky I am. My life's not perfect, but it's very good, and I'm a lot happier than I used to be. My life's a lot better than it used to be, because for one thing, I basically took the time to figure out what life's about, how to be happy, how to, we've been lied to, like the rock star lifestyle. You want to be a pro athlete, or for guys, you want to be a rock star, going to different cities and meeting different girls. And look at Avicii, 28, just world famous DJ, just killed himself. I've got a friend on tour who's suicidal, and I did that competitively. It was sad at times, and to try a life of idle surfing, and that shit's boring. But what can save you a lot of time, and this is stuff everyone should be taught, but the problem is that so few people know this, because so few people are living good lives, because so many people have been deceived, and so few people have been able to make it happen, that no one knows the answers to teach this. Although the truth is, the science agrees on this. People will argue and say, that's not for me, not everyone can do that. Well, everyone should try, and the science is pretty clear about what makes people happy and fulfilled. And we're going to get into that a little bit, and how you can do it. And I think it's I'm getting a little repetitive talking about this in multiple videos, but it's necessary to do because it's so important, and I'll be back to talk about it more, especially as I refine it, of just pretty much how to have a good life. So they say that, you have enough things, enough money, enough things, you'll be happy. And partially true. You don't want to be poor, you want security of body, mind, a place to rest your head and food to eat. But you don't need too much, and a little bit of savings, rainy day fund. You don't need too much more than that. The happiness doesn't continue to scale with money. You want to be healthy. That doesn't mean you need to go to the gym a bunch. It doesn't mean you need to intentionally work out necessarily, as we look at the people who live the longest and are the happiest. Often they do gardening and work outside, work with animals and stuff like that. They're healthy. They're not necessarily working out. Lies there. We're told that, travel, vacation lifestyle. Vacation lifestyle is fucking boring. What we need is purposeful work. People will argue with this. The people who live the longest and are the happiest have meaningful work with people that they love. And, there's only one person for you. That's also not true. You look at the divorce rate in the United States today, 50%, really high, because we're kind of lied to about the way that humans operate. We tend to be monogamous, but we also tend to be serially monogamous. And you can't rely to put all our love in one basket, someone else's basket, and they can just turn and walk away with it. when the truth is community is perhaps more important. Having belonging, having important teams, having close family, and that one of the biggest indicators of happiness is how many people you love. It doesn't have too much to do with how many people love you, just how many people that you love. So what actually makes us happy? What's the truth? Well, it's not things. It's a little bit of money. It's a blend. It is not, you don't have to have a six-pack. You don't have to work out all the time. You don't have to have an Instagram model body. But, kind of having a lifestyle where you get some sun and maybe you get in the water sometimes and you move with nature. That's what you need. That will make you happy, more fulfilled. That you don't have to be some sort of rock star or anything, but also it helps a lot if you have a job that is meaningful to you. It doesn't have to be like do what you love necessarily, but don't pick something just for the money. Pick something that matters to you so that you're fulfilled. And then a big thing that people, is not marketed as making you happy, because what's marketed is like the enclosed family with fenced off, is actually more open borders. Having strong community is way more predictive of happiness. Having groups of people and social support, social networks. Of course, the individual relationships matter a lot, but the group dynamic matters a whole lot as well. So one of the biggest things you can do to boost happiness and boost lifespan and boost sex life, actually, there's studies on all this, is volunteering. Volunteer events will get you outside, will get you working extra. You're not really going to make money from it. You're not going to the gym doing it. You're not, it's just kind of the way that humans work. We're group oriented. We're not meant to be too individualistic. We're told that we're individualistic and we're selfish. That's not really helpful. It's also not really true. Humans are very, very group oriented. And when you look at what even fulfilling work means, it probably has to do with helping people. It probably has to do like feeling that your work matters to society, that you're making a difference, right? You look at, it's important and it's sad. It's sad that we're not taught this. I'm sad I was not taught this. Growing up as a kid, okay, I want to be a star. Maybe I want to be, I don't know, music. I didn't know. I want to monetize my hobby, have like a 4-hour work week. I was lied to. I went to college. Didn't make me happy. I didn't necessarily have the best time there. I pursued money a little bit, pursued just travel lifestyle. Like if I had just known this when I was 18, I would have graduated. I would have come out here. I would have started working on community farming. I would have been 10 years ahead if I had just known. There's a girl on the farm who runs all the markets. She just turned 19. She's not necessarily the most book smart, but she's life smart. She figured it out early. Her friends back home in university, going to school, don't know what they want to do. She's really involved with this community, learning all these skills and farming and farmers markets and marketing food, organic produce, and she's figured it out. She's happy at 18. She's on the path. She has good days. That's another thing. This is absurd that this is not given more of a target. And this is obvious. I should have said it earlier, but you think that maybe good days are a good target? Good days, string good days together, you get a good life. We're not told this because most people are not having good days. Most people are stuck in traffic when they don't want to be, commuting or taking the bus. They're waking up when they don't want to. They are distracted and irritated by social media. Most people are scared by the things they see online. Most of us, we get stuck inside at jobs that we're either, don't like or are just tolerant of. We're stuck inside. We miss the sun. A lot of us are hustling to the gym or not even feeling bad about it. They're not good days. So what makes a good day? We can look at this as a component of it. Okay, from the social is giving love and ideally receiving love, but again, that's not even as predictive of happiness as giving love. Having days where you give love, having days where you work with the team on meaningful work. Again, doesn't have to be like do what you love. It just has to be something that you think is important and matters. That's a big misconception as well. I'm going to come back to that. Good days composed of, you don't have to exercise, but it helps if you're outside moving, especially in nature, working with animals or working with plants for some of the day, or walking around. Not everyone needs to be a gardener or a farmer, but that's a highly underrated hobby. Highly underrated hobby. Go on walks and stuff like that. Good day probably involves being outside. We're animals. Don't forget we're animals. Yeah, we're cavemen, but we were sleeping in caves. We weren't living in caves. We're living outside. Some challenge, some struggle, and some good food. Like taking the time for some good food. That makes for good days. It's pretty simple. A little bit of social, a little bit of meaningful work that you get rewarded for, a little bit of healthy activity. It's very simple. For good days, string them together, you get a good life. Right? It's absurd that we're not taught that. I said, you don't have to do what you love. There's also this myth, and I'll dispel this because I went down the wrong path here, I think, is to do what you love. I'm a little skeptical on that one. I loved to play Magic the Gathering, and I kind of turned that into my business, and this game was great to me. It traveled the world. It brought me out here, and I still manage this business. And, I'm glad for all the opportunities. But some of the best advice I've heard is don't get too good at the wrong thing. That's one of the biggest tragedies, getting good at the wrong thing. So what I found for this game was I love playing the game, but I don't think it's particularly important or meaningful. And I started to feel empty over a couple of years of thinking, did I get good at the wrong thing? You know what? Maybe I should forget what I love to do and focus on what I think is important and matters. That's when I got into, I love to surf, I love to play basketball. None of that shit matters. It's fun diversion. It fits into a healthy lifestyle perhaps, but it's not a good goal. So what I felt was what actually matters. Someone driving like a maniac out here. What actually matters to me, well, the environment matters, humanity matters, helping people matters. One of the big things that I felt mattered the most was good food. So much good food is unaffordable. People don't have access to it. People live in food deserts. People don't know how much it matters. People are uneducated on food and the soil environment. People don't think they have time for good food. And I wanted to work in that realm because I thought it was important, and I found that the work is very fulfilling. It wasn't what I loved necessarily. I enjoy doing it, and I've grown to love it, but it's not, I wasn't like, I love to garden. It's like sustainable, organic, regenerative agriculture is important. So my suggestion for you is don't think you have to do what you love. Find ways to, think about why your work is important. Grow towards what you think matters. Love will grow out of that. Like being a professional competitor traveling is sexy. Having a surf and vacation lifestyle is sexy. But long-term love, right, is purposeless. So it's important to have some purpose. You can have a mission statement. I think this is important. I have a general mission statement. You can copy mine or use someone else's. Mine is to help people move, think, and feel better. That's really general, which I like. And what I like about that is it just sets my intention to be helpful. Like right now, this video, I'm helping you think better. I'm encouraging you to move better. And I want you to feel better as well. So, this video generally goes into that. And then my career mission, as I talk about my space in agriculture, is to get more people buying, eating, and growing organic local produce. So I'd like to get more people growing food, but I also want more people to buy food. Why? Because it will help people move, think, and feel better. And it helps to have a purpose. You can apply that to anything you do. When I was focused on professional magic, like, okay, this feels empty, but some of you have gone too far down the wrong road and feel like, oh man, how can I start my second career? What should I do? Well, something to think about is how you can make the most of what you have and at least say, hey, I love to help, and I'm going to use this magic thing as a vehicle to share my love, and just use it, get people's attention, and then get them thinking about living healthier, better life. So I can make a difference that way, right? So whatever you're doing, and here's something to think, like certain jobs or certain careers, you're going to be drawn to things that matter, but we need people doing everything. We need janitors, we need baristas, we need accountants. So you're going to be, some people have to do these things, and I think you shouldn't feel bad necessarily, like, oh, I'm stuck inside, or this thing, why does it matter? You have to decide, like, this is really important for this reason, right? Like, I'm going to make the most of my job as a cashier person at this little shop. I'm going to try to make people smile. I'm going to be the best that I can be, make the biggest difference that I can at this. And it matters for this reason. It helps to get clear on it. However, at the end of the day, you might find that shit just doesn't matter. That's how I felt with my game stuff. It's like, it just doesn't matter that much. What matters a lot more is this other thing. For you might find it's growing organic food. You might find it's like helping people with technology. You might find it can be any number of, like, being a doctor and saving lives, and it can be any number of things, but I think the important thing is to find it eventually, and don't be scared about changing careers. You look at every professional athlete has to pick a second career for the most part, and it's not too late to change. You don't have to, though. Work is a big discussion in this, because work, first of all, if we don't work, we get bored. I've explained that. That's kind of obvious. If we don't like what we're doing, we feel like we're squandering our life. And if we don't, our work is also who we spend almost the most time with, or don't spend time with, our team. So that really matters for social. And your work dictates your schedule in a lot of ways, your ability to spend time outside, or what sort of work you're doing. So that's really important too. Wish I had a better career counselor to make me consider more options. So again, like, I found it eventually, but if I had just come out here 10 years ago and started doing the thing that I felt mattered to me because someone had told me, Trav, you don't need to waste 10 years on this playing games. Just face it doesn't matter that much, and some flashy love is not going to be enough. You got to do something you think is important. No one ever said that to me. No one ever gave me that guidance. I wish someone had, so I'm passing that on to you. So, kind of rambling here, but I think this is important on keys to living a good life, having a better life, being happier. Society lied to us on a number of levels that we do certain things, we'll be happy. It's because the things that actually give us good lives, make us happy, is hard to monetize. So you're not going to see ads for it. That other stuff's fake though. So share below, what makes your days good? What's like the best days you've ever had? Share them down below. For me, the best day, like the best recent day I can remember, was giving a farm tour. We had 150 kids out here. Took a group of 30 kids and around outside and shared what I'm passionate. That's the best day in a while, and it has to do with work. So for you, what is it? And then those of you who want more help, make sure to check out my recent book, I Wish I Had Told Me Sooner. There's a link to that in the description, all full of things that, pretty simply, wish someone had told me sooner. So now I know. Appreciate you. Thanks for listening, and talk to you soon. If I can stop this.